I wanted to show these copper exhaust gaskets and how they fit. They're a pain because right now the engine is upright and upside down. Basically the head would be upside down. This would be facing the ground. So I have it on the workbench right now and it's easy to show. And I thought, you know, I have the heads out and I was just putting the valves in the previous video. And I thought, you know, maybe I could show some people about this because I've heard different things on these copper gaskets. The first thing, they need to be annealed. If they're not annealed, they're not going to be soft enough to crush and to keep from leaking. Some brands are better than others probably on the copper. Some come with a nicer copper maybe. Maybe there's not as much copper alloy. I don't know. But it's tricky with these. When you put them in, you can see how they don't. These are AMC heads, and they probably don't fit perfect as a German head. Machining may not be as good. AMC heads are really good, but obviously if you had this upside down, it would just fall on the ground. I've had some people say, oh, you put grease on them. I don't think you put grease on them, you know, to kind of hold it in there while you assemble it. So I want to show how I don't know if it will show in the picture here. I'll take a pair of pliers, channel locks, and I'll crimp these a little bit on one end. I think I've done it on the sides like this and here, and it just causes these two opposite sides to expand enough. You don't want to distort the shape, the ends to expand enough to where they touch up against these ends here, and it keeps it from falling out. Obviously you don't want to distort the shape of this too much, but it only takes a little bit. And if you don't know that, first of all, like I said, this has to be annealed, and that is a process I'll show in another video where you heat it up and you drench it in water. That's basically how you do it, but it's a little tricky. That will soften the copper so they'll seal. If you don't anneal the copper exhaust gaskets on a Type 4 head, they'll sputter, they'll leak. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a perfect fit, they'll still leak. So that's why you got to anneal them. But yeah, that's what I do is I'll crimp these a little bit to get them to tighten up against these ends here, and that will keep them from falling out. And another thing that I'm going to try is, you see this side right here, and I don't know if this is in the frame, the other side over here. I'm going to try to maybe file a little notch like right here. Maybe something about that, something that will look something like that on the side, so I can get a flat screwdriver in there, and maybe when if there's a problem with it leaking, I can get a screwdriver in there and fold the copper in and be able to pull this out, because once they spread out, they tighten up in the head and they're really hard to get out. And you have to get, the only way I've been able to get them out is to be able to get in this side over here or the opposite side over here, and get them to come out, or you can just get in there and they'll fall out. Another point on the copper exhaust gaskets is there's a rounded side and then there's a sharp side. It's part of how they're stamped out, and it looks like this is the rounded side and it looks like this is the sharp side. I would think, I don't know if it really matters to be able to get them out, but I would think having the sharp side to the outside might be better, or vice versa. It's hard to say. It probably doesn't matter, but that would be a thought on trying to think about how difficult it could get. Leaving the sharp side on the inside is obviously going to grip, I would think, pretty good when it expands, but you'd think it would come out easier that way, but maybe it would come out easier the other way. I don't know. I never paid attention to that, but I made notes of it, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But yeah, that's the only way to get them out. And let me see, I get a screwdriver. I just had my little screwdriver. Basically, when they're in the engine and you're trying to get them out, you try to just get them so they'll come up like that, or if there's an edge, you can get in there and lift up and get them to come out. Or if there's an edge over here you can get in, maybe that was where I was pried before last time. You can get in there and get them out. And but sometimes they're spread out throughout the whole thing. And I'm trying to look here. If there was a little notch in here prior to when it's installed, you might be able to get a small screwdriver in there and twist and make the copper gasket buckle, and then it will get smaller in diameter and it will come right out. Yeah, it'll come right out. These are hard to get out. They're hard to get out. They're never easy. Sometimes they just come out, sometimes they don't. But the only way you can get your exhaust in here and get this assembled without having any problem is that you have to get them to expand so that they'll fit in snugly and they won't fall out. They don't have to fit in very much, just a little bit. And so you play around with that on each one, and I'll just go like that, and I'll go like that, kind of just get a little shape on there, and they'll keep from falling out when it's upside, when it's the engine's right side up, which is the opposite direction now. So that's my take on Type 4 exhaust gaskets. Type 4 copper exhaust gasket. Early style. The later style 2-liter engines had a different arrangement on the exhaust. This is a 1972 engine. It's up to 74, I believe. They kept this copper 74, 75. They kept this arrangement, and then they changed to a I think it's called the square port. I'm not sure if that's correct. The round, square, I can't tell the difference. So they have that terminology. I would think this is round, kinda. I don't know. Alright, this is RT. Thanks for watching.